Vandami Bante, and good evening, everyone. Good morning for everyone in the West Hemisphere. Welcome to the Practical Abhidhamma. I am Edmund, and I am the meeting co-host who will be helping Bante and everyone in today's session. May we invite Bante to start the teaching, and may we invite the interpreter Bante to start the translation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Before we start giving Dhamma talks, we will pay homage to the Buddha by reciting Namo Tassa 3 times. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. So today we have to start talking about meditation. So as we all have known that we have two types of meditation, samatha and vipassana. Today we will start talking about introduction to meditation. Whatever meditation subject we practice, we have to prepare some things prior to meditation. So now I have to talk about meditation subject first. Introduction to meditation. So we have many different types of meditations. Even in samatha, we have many different types of meditation subjects. Among them, we have anusati, recollections. There are 10 types of recollections in Buddha's teaching, such as recollection of Buddha's quality, recollection of Dhamma's quality, recollection of Sangha's quality, and so on. So most of the anusatis are very similar to ultimate reality. That's why whenever we practice most of the recollections, we cannot attain jhana. We can attain only asset concentration. Then we also have another one, asubha, repulsiveness meditation. So we may have many different types of dead body, according to Mahasatipatthana Sutta in Dikha Nikaya. Now we also have 10 types of corpse mentioned in Visuddhimagga and Abhidhamma Sangha. Mostly we talk about 10 types of death body, 10 types of corpse. But anyway, this is repulsiveness meditation. We also have living repulsiveness and dead repulsiveness. So whatever thing we practice, when we have a lot of lustful mind or attachment, we can do repulsiveness meditation to subside or subdue attachment to living things. Then kasinas. Whenever we talk about kasinas, we also have to talk about jhanas. All kasina can attain up to 4th jhana. Then based on 8 kasinas or 9 kasina, we can also proceed the immaterial jhana. So 8 kasinas, I will explain all the kasinas in detail in the near future. Then Brahma Vihara, sublime abiding. As we all have known that metta, the loving kindness, is very important in our community. When we have loving kindness, our lifestyle is perfect or good. Then metaphorically, we also say sublime abiding. This is called Brahma Vihara. Similarly, karuna, compassion, mudita, sympathetic joy, ubeka, equanimity. taking different living beings as objects. That we may have metta, loving kindness, karuna, compassion, and mudita, sympathetic joy, and ubeka, equanimity. When we have one of these four living styles, our living style is sublime. That's why it's called sublime abiding. Then arupa, immaterial jhana. So later we have to explain immaterial jhana in detail. So we have two different things in jhana. For example, when we talk about material jhana or fine material jhanas, they may have the same objects, but different jhana factors. When we talk about immaterial jhana, they have the same jhana factors, but different meditation subjects. Different jhanas will take, different immaterial jhanas will take different objects. The object will make them different. The jhana factors cannot make them different. So these are higher jhana. After practicing 8 kasinas or 9 kasinas, we can proceed practicing the immaterial jhanas. The ahari particular sanya, the perceptions of reversiveness in foods. So we also have known that we may have many different types of perceptions in our body, but here, this is the foods we eat. When we know the reversiveness of the foods, we may have less attachment to the food. That is why we also can practice ahari particular sanya, the perceptions of reversiveness in food. The Chatu Dhatu Avatana, descending the 4 elements. So here we have special meditation methods. Whenever we are going to practice vipassana, we must start with 4-element meditation. It can be brief methods or in detail methods. Whether we are practicing samatha yanika or vipassana yanika. Samatha yanika means jhana vehicle who practice samatha and attain jhana. Pure vipassana bhikami who does not attain any jhanas, then can practice vipassana. This is called pure vipassana vehicle. So whoever practices vipassana must start with the 4-element meditation. As foundations of vipassana, we can also proceed practicing mentalities. So in brief, we have these meditation subjects. The Buddha will teach meditation his disciples according to their temperament. So we also have temperaments. According to Buddha's teaching, there are 6 types of temperament. We have the first one, Raga Charita, lustful temperament. So lustful temperament means we may have very strong attachment to anything, living things or non-living things, or we are easy to attach to something. This is called lustful temperament. So our mind will always incline to something to enjoy, longing for new things. This is lustful temperament. Then the next one, dosa charita, hateful temperament. This is like a short temper, or the one who is very easy to get angry. Mostly, they may find faults of other people. They may have a lot of negativity. Also, they will be maybe pessimist. This is dosa charita. Then moha charita, deluded temperament. Mostly they may have confused minds and decisions. That is called moha charita. So when somebody has moha charita, their mind cannot understand very deeply, especially they cannot understand the Dhamma very deeply. A lot of obstacle. That's why this is also one of the charita. It can hinder our improvement. Now we have the next one, Vitaka charita, speculated temperament. If we have a lot of thinking, a lot of analyzing, especially here we think a lot of things, think very deeply. This is called Vitaka charita. What about raga, dosa, moha? They are unwholesome temperaments. What about Vitaka charita? It can be both wholesome or unwholesome. Then the next one, Satta charita, faithful temperament. In this kind of temperament, they are very easy to believe, although is it fake one or real one. For example, people may have very strong faith in the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. There is something similar to Buddha, like for example, Bodhisattva, discourses, newly invented discourses, newly invented commentary, and many different things. All these can be considered as faith, confidence. If we have very strong confidence, like our confidence also can mislead us. Sometimes we have overconfidence. It can mislead us. That is why not really very good for people. Then finally, we have Buddhi Charita, intelligent temperament. A lot of analysis, active understanding. But sometimes if we analyze ancestrally, it has caused doubt. It will cause a lot of doubt. That is why we have to consider this too. Anyway, moha is undecided, and buddhi is analyzing a lot. So moreover, we also have mixture of temperament. In modern community, we cannot say easily which temperament we have. Also, we have raga, we also have dosa, we also have moha, we also have vitaka, we also have saddha, we also have bodhicharita, intelligence, mostly mixture of temperament. When the Buddha delivered discourses, or when the Buddha gave instructions to his disciple, it can be according to the listener's temperament. So we have to start with Raga Charita. When the Buddha gave meditation instruction to the people who with less good temperament, the Buddha will recommend them to practice rebelsiveness meditation. Rebelsiveness in our body, rebelsiveness in the dead body, rebelsiveness of other living beings. It will be the opposite of attachment. If we know all the things we have is impure or repulsives, then we will not have that much attachment to living things or non-living things. That is why whenever the Buddha gave instruction to less good temperament, people with less good temperament, the Buddha will explain, or the Buddha will recommend it or instructed them. The Buddha instructed them 10 repulsiveness meditation. Moreover, we also have like 32 body parts in our body. This is also repulsiveness. The Buddha will recommend them to practice 32 body parts. It's also repulsiveness meditation to overcome attachment. The next one is dosa charita, hateful temperament. So when we say hateful temperament, we cannot have our mind will not incline to the object, meditation object easily. But whenever the Buddha gave instruction to the people with hateful temperament, the Buddha instructed them for sublime abiding. When we get angry, and we were already metta toward living beings, we can overcome angry. We can overcome anger or hatred. Similarly, we may radiate karuna, compassion to our living beings. We can overcome dosa, hatred or anger. When we can radiate the sympathetic joy to all living beings, we can overcome dosa. Similarly, when we can radiate upekkha, the equanimity meditation, to all living beings, we can overcome dosa, hatred. These four sublime abidings is the quite opposite to dosa, hatred. That is why the Buddha instructed his disciple with his good temperament. Four sublime abidings. Moreover, there are also Kala Kasina. Among the 10 kasinas, there are 4 Kala Kasinas. They are black kasinas. So black kasina come from, if we start with 32 body parts, we can also practice taking head hair as object. We can take black as object, mentally reciting black, and we can take as object. So we have here some arguments. So we have in Pali Nila Kasina. When I was teaching in Pautoya or anywhere, whenever we talk about Nila Kasina, there's some translation problem. Nila means blue. They say blue kasina. Whenever I say it's a black kasina, no, Bandi, in the books it's mentioned it's a blue kasina. Then I have to explain why we say black kasina. So taking head hair as object, we can practice Nila kasina. Our Asian hair is not blue, it's black. But now in modern community, many people have dyeing their hair, right? It can be blue. It's not original, it's not natural. It's just artificial. We Asian people have black color. The Buddha himself also have black hair. That is why we must practice black kasina, not blue kasina. Then again, we also have yellow kasina, like a urine or fat as object. We can also practice yellow kasina. Then we also have red kasina. Taking blood as object, we can practice red kasina. We also have a white kasina. Taking the bone as object or teeth as object, we can also practice white kasina. So when we can practice these, one of the 4 kala kasinas, we can also overcome anger. Mostly kala can be attractive. It can make your mind soft and flexible. You can overcome anger. So these meditation subjects, the 4 sublime abiding and 4 kala kasinas, are suitable for the meditators with hateful temperament. Next one is Mahacharita. When the Buddha gave instruction to his disciple with deluded temperament, the Buddha also recommends them to practice recollection of death. When we can know our death, we may not have any plans about future. We will be more ardent to meditate. The Buddha also recommended them to practice anapanasati, mindfulness of breathing, for Mahacharita. So we have to understand these two, moha and panya. These are opposite. When we have delusions, we cannot take objects very well. That's why anapanasati is easier to take. Death also easier to take because it's very obvious. We can die anytime. We can see somebody. We can also see the dead body. We can also replace ourselves as a dead body. We can also know we must die one day. It's easier than other meditation subjects. Then the next one is Vitaka Charita, speculative temperament. When we have speculative temperament, we have a lot of thinking. So if we have very big kasinas, for example, what also recommended to practice kasina, also practice anapanasati. So if we practice the kasina, it's very big kasinas, very big cycles. We may have a lot of thoughts, more wandering thoughts. That's why whenever we recommend our practitioners, we just recommend them 1 feet in diameter, the circle. Then try to see the kasinas with open eyes, normal open eyes, until our mind can absorb on it. Now we can also proceed practicing. Visualizing the kasina, we can also practice until we can attain jhana. So here we have Vitaka Charita. So when we practice like anapanasati, or when we practice like kasinas, especially anapanas will be easier. Because anapana is from our body. We don't need to find external objects. Easier to focus. So when we have difficulty, there will be another subject. Then again we have Sattacharita, faithful temperament. So the one is, they have very strong faith. That is why the Buddha instructed them to practice recollection of Buddhas, Dhammas, Sangha, and so on. So they can correct their faith, their confidence. If we know Buddha's quality clearly, if we can know Dhamma's quality clearly, or if we can know the Sangha's quality clearly, if we can know the quality of charity, jaga, or the quality of morality, and so on, we may have correct faith or right faith. When we have proper faith or proper confidence, we may have proper decision or right decision. If we don't have proper faith or proper confidence, we may not have right decision. That is why we need to have right decisions. We also say in Pali, Satta Dimokha, decided by faith or confidence. So the Buddha instructed his disciple with faithful temperament to practice Buddhanosati, the recollection of Buddha, the Dhammanosati, recollection of Dhamma, Sanghanosati, recollection of Sangha, Jaganosati, recollection of charity, Silanosati, recollection of morality, Devadanosati, maybe recollection of divine beings, and so on. All these things will make their faith better and stronger. Finally, the last one, Bodhicharita, intelligent temperament. They are quite intelligent. That is why Buddha recommended them to practice the 4-element meditation. So 4 elements are ultimate reality. We must know the nature of 4 elements. It must be natural. We cannot create, or we must not create. If we create something, we cannot feel free and comfortable. It cannot be natural anymore. So when we are wise enough, we can practice 4-element meditation. Then based on 4 elements, we can also proceed practicing vipassana. Okay, the main thing is, the Buddha explains or give instruction to his disciple according to their temperament. That's why we have many different meditation subjects. So different people have different temperaments. That is why the Buddha gave many different meditation subjects. For example, when we study Karaniya Metta Sutta, all the bhikkhus practice metta meditation. They can attain arhatship. Based on metta, they also practice vipassana. They all of them attain arhatship. It doesn't mean they have a hatred or they hate other living beings. Okay, one more thing here. When we talk about dosa, it also covers like a fear, worry, lamentation, despair. All these things can be considered as dosa. So they were frightened by divine beings in the forest. That's why the Buddha recommended them to practice Metta Sutta, metta meditation. They can spend there for 1 vasa. After that, they can also attain arhatship. So according to the conditions of meditators, the Buddha gave different instructions. These are the temperaments and meditation. Again, we have to start how to develop concentration. So we must know how to develop concentration. So we also have some preliminary activities or preliminary actions, or we also have to prepare before meditation. These are give up major impediments. So that means if we are busy with very heavy job, we cannot meditate easily. That is why we must give up. Okay, number 1 is purifying the morality. So the first one, we must purify morality. After that, 2, we have to give up the major impediments. These 2 are basics of meditation. Last week, we have already talked about sila. Morality, sila is training our bodily actions and bhava action. Now we are going to do mental training. We have to train our minds. That's why we have to beautify bodily and bhava action first. After that, we have to train minds. That's why morality is also important. Second one, impediments. Big impediment means we have to be busy with many different things or very heavy job. very big project. Then we cannot meditate well. It becomes a very big obstacle. That's why we have to give up, or we have to solve all these problems first. Then the next one is approach a competent teacher. Of course, at the time of the Buddha was a competent teacher. He could teach properly according to the temperament, tendency, and the conditions of meditators. In modern community, we may have different quality of teachers. Anyway, I have to explain later. What is it really called? Competent teacher. Then practice suitable meditation subject. I have already listed out the temperaments and the meditation subject. So that means according to our temperament, we have to practice suitable meditation subject. This is also important for practitioners. Then 5, avoids unsuitable monasteries. In the Buddha teaching, we have many unsuitable monasteries. Actually, there are 18 types of unsuitable monasteries. For example, like if it's too famous, it will be very busy with, very crowded with people, then we cannot meditate well. Totally new monastery, we have to construct many things, we cannot meditate well. A very old monastery, we have to repair, we have to reconstruct many things, then we cannot meditate very well. In brief, if the monastery is very busy and also very crowded, then this is not a good place. This is an unsuitable monastery. We have to avoid all these types of monastery. Then the next one, live in suitable monasteries. So that means we have to live in suitable monasteries, not very far from the city or the village where we can go for Pindapata. Also not very close to the city or the village. If it's too close, it will be noisy. If it's very far, we have to spend very long time to go for Pindapata. Also, it will be difficult for the people to come to the monastery. That's why it must be suitable monasteries. Actually, whenever we talk about suitable monastery, we must also talk about meditation teacher or Dhamma friends in that monastery. If we have to live together with very bad people, we cannot meditate well. This is also important. Another thing is like another obstacle, like a lot of mosquitoes, a lot of mice, and also very busy with people, and that kind of is not very suitable. If they have a less disturbance, less insect, less disturbance, then we can practice easily, more comfortably. It will be suitable monasteries. Then finally, we have give up minor impediments. Here, minor impediments mean it depends on our small cases. Like for example, we have to shave hair, cut nails, and also I have to wash clothes, dine clothes, maybe make the bowl as bhikkhu. For example, we have to prepare many different things. Also, we have to clean the kuti, everything. After making everything, we can start meditating. Here, give up means we must not do. It doesn't mean we must not do anything. It just means we must solve all these problems first. After that, we can continue practicing. This is the first part of practice. Now we have to continue. Another one. major impediment. There are 10 types of impediments. So I have to explain one by one. The first one is avasa, living place. We will say the living place can be our impediment. That means if our food is leaking in the rainy season, we have to repair. We have to work for it. It becomes an obstacle. If we are going to a very big monastery, we will be busy more. If we are busy too much, we cannot meditate. That's why living place is also one of the impediments. Kula, devotees. Actually, here Kula also translates as a family. That means we have many families, many devotees. So sometimes if we are very close to the devotees, when they have to suffer, we also have to suffer. That's why devotees also can be one of the obstacles. So we must not have very close devotees too much. If we have a lot of devotees, if we are very close to the devotees too much, then we have to suffer from the devotees. So for lay people, it can be your followers maybe. If you have a lot of followers, they can be obstacle. Sorry. Lava, gain. So as an ordained person, if we expect gain, or if we have to go here and there for gain, we cannot meditate well. For example, like we will visit one monastery, expecting gain. If we cannot get, we have to go to another monastery, expecting gain again. Go another monastery, then it will be very busy. Similarly, we may have a lot of invitation from many people. We will go there for gain. Then the more places we can go, we can gain more. It will make us busy. We cannot meditate well. So gain is also one of the obstacles for meditator. For lay devotees, for lay person, you have to work for your earning, for your living. So if you have to work, if you have to earn a lot, it can be an obstacle. Then kana, lineage. Here mentioned Sudabhyara and so on. That means at the time of the Buddha, we have some, we also call in Pali Nikaya. We also call kana. There are some group of bhikkhus, they were memorized Vinaya Pitaka. They are Vinaya learners or Vinaya bearers. There's some bhikkhus group will learn only Digha Nikaya. They are Digha Nikaya bearers or Digha Nikaya learners. Similarly, Samudra Nikaya, connected discourses, also Anguttara Nikaya, Majjhima Nikaya, Khuddaka Nikaya, Abhidhamma, and so on. Different groups learn different subjects according to their preference. If we have to work for our groups, we have to be busy, then we cannot meditate well. As a layperson also, you may have many associations, many organizations. You have to work for your organizations, your associations, community. All these things can be considered as obstacle. Then karma. Here we can also say like new activities or new projects. So here we say karma, this means activities. If we have a lot of activities, we have to prepare a lot, then if we have to be busy unnecessarily, we cannot meditate. So if you have been to Paudoya, you may have known the Katina, right? In Katina ceremony, we have to prepare a lot. Also busy, everybody is busy. Then we have less meditation section at the time. Similarly, in Mahadana, we have a lot of activities. We have a less meditation section. So that means if we have a lot of activities, we cannot meditate well. Not only that, if we have a lot of new projects, we call in Bali Nawagama. Nawagama means new cases or new actions or new transactions or new activities. Here we can also say new project. For example, you are planning to build very big monasteries. This is also new activities, new things. It will make you busy. Then again, Adhana journey. If we have to set out journey, we have to be busy. That's why it's also one of the major impediments. Then again, Nyati, relatives. Yeah, relatives also cover, as bhikkhu, we have to take care of our disciples, we have to take care of our teacher. All these things can be considered as Nyati, relatives. Sometimes if our family member are sick, or our teacher is sick, or disciples is sick, we cannot meditate well. We have to take care of them. We also have responsibility or duties. That is why this is also one of the impediments. This is major impediment. Abhada, sickness. So we also have known that sickness is impediment because we have already known if we are very seriously sick, we cannot meditate. In the case of abhada, sickness, we have different conditions. That means if we have just minor sickness, it's okay. Sometimes we are so seriously sick that we cannot carry our body anymore. It's not the time to meditate. That's why we must be healthy. Sometimes, although we're trying to cure ourselves, but it's not very successful, then we have to give up. Just keep practicing what we have to do. Okay, the main thing is, whenever we are going to practice, we must be healthy. If we are unhealthy, we cannot meditate well. It can be an obstacle. It can be major impediment. Then Ganta, learning text. Here we can also say teaching or learning, both. So in the Pali school, we don't meditate. If we meditate, also it can only short time, maybe half an hour, 20 minutes, 15 minutes, like that. Because we are busy with the learning. Similarly, when we are in meditation center, we don't learn that much. If we have to learn too much, we cannot meditate well. And sometimes there's something very important for us to learn. For example, like when we are practicing anapanasati, we learn about anapanasati, it will be okay. It cannot be a big obstacle. But sometimes we study too much, it can be an obstacle. Then finally, 80, psychic power. So that means when we can attain psychic power, it's very difficult to sustain or maintain. So we have to be busy with maintaining psychic power. We cannot improve other meditation subjects. That's why psychic power is also one of the impediments. So these are major impediments. When we have one of these 10, we are very busy and we cannot meditate well. So we also have minor impediments, I have already said, like our personal case, like cleaning the rooms, clean the moisture compound, or just washing the clothes, washing this what is like shaving the hair, cutting the nails, and so on. All these are minor impediments. So we must try to settle or solve all these things first. If we can settle or if we can solve all these problems first, then meditate, we can improve easier and faster. Now, the last part. What does it mean, competent teacher? So as I have said, the Buddha is a competent teacher. The Buddha can know people's temperament, tendency, inclination, that he can give instructions according to people's temperament, tendency, and habit. The meditator can also improve easily. But we are not the Buddha. We don't have this kind of ability. Now, what kind of quality should we have as a meditation teacher? The first one, piya, moral. Actually, if we translate piya directly, it must be like a lovely person. People can misunderstand if we say lovely person, right? He must be beautiful or handsome, or she must be beautiful or he must be handsome. Not like this. Here, piya means moral. If someone is moral, then we can approach the kind of teacher, we can learn with confidence. If the teacher is immoral, we may have less confidence. That's why this one is important for the teacher. Another one is guru. Here, actually, if we say guru, if we translate guru directly, it's kind of respectable. But here we say concentrated. When we have concentration, we become respectable. That's why it's also important to be well concentrated. So there are many questions. What does it mean concentration? Up to what level do we have to practice? Of course, if we can attain jhana, it's better. At least if we can attain asset concentration, we can say we are concentrated. Then again, we have bhavaniya, praiseworthy. So that means if we can practice well, if we can behave well, we are praiseworthy. If our behavior, our lifestyle is not very good, we're going to be praiseworthy. The teacher must be praiseworthy. Then, vata. So that means if the disciple made mistakes, the teacher must correct. Sometimes teacher, if we correct, there are some students, they don't want to change. If we force them to change, they will hate us. Anyway, we have to do it. Although they hate the teacher, it doesn't matter. They have to do his duties. The main thing is just change their mistakes, correct their mistakes. Then we have another one, vatanakama, patience. So as a meditation teacher, we have to see many different people. They have many different temperaments, many different tempers. There are some meditators, they are very calm, very quiet. There are some meditators, they are very rude, very bad. Whatever situation we encounter, we must be patient. This is also called one of the things. Sometimes the student also correct teacher, right? Now we also have to accept if they are right. Then Next one is Gambiranja Kachang, Gambira Kachang Kacha, explaining profound Dhamma. When we talk about profound Dhamma, we have to talk about Abhidhamma, right? Abhidhamma is very profound. Also, there are many other profound Dhamma, such as divinity origination, although it's not 100% Vipassana yet. It's only foundations of Vipassana, but very deep and very profound. We have to explain this kind of things. If the teacher can explain this kind of profound things, profound Dhamma, we can say this is a proper teacher or a competent teacher. Sometimes people like only easy things. They don't want to study very difficult things or complicated things. But in reality, meditation is very simple. Because our thinking way, it became complicated. Anyway, teacher must explain the profound Dhamma to the disciples. Then finally, we have no atana niyojaka. That means not letting the disciple following the wrong path. So if the disciples are going to do something wrong, teacher must remind him not to do this kind of things or not to follow wrong paths. In the meditation, there are many wrong traps, a lot of problems like this. For example, like when we have very calm and quiet minds, we may think, because of quietness, we may have fear. Then people may say, it's like a ghost. Huh? I can feel the ghost coming to me, approaching me, something like that. It is not truth. It's just mind-made. So when we have very much quiet mind, our mind will create something. Then teacher must correct that kind of things. Otherwise, his mind will follow. It's a ghost, like a Deva. Mara come to see me, or Deva come to see me, the Buddha come to see me, and I come to see me. Many problems, especially when we have calmness of the mind. All these things are mind-made, unreal. That's why we don't need to think about it. This is only just minor case. There are many other cases. It can mislead people. Okay, the main thing is, a community teacher must have all this quality: moral, concentrated, blameworthy. He must let his disciple correct the mistakes. He must correct his disciples' mistakes. Vajana Kamami, he must be patient when somebody talks to him or complain him. Then Gambira Kata, he must explain profound Dhamma. Najatana Niyojagami, he must not let his disciple follow the wrong path. These are the quality of a competent teacher. So when we have all these situations, then you can start meditating. Actually, there will be another prerequisites of meditation. I will explain the next week. Okay, today we have already talked about the cases of meditation, especially how we have to do, how we have to prepare before meditation. I have said we must purify morality, we must give up mental impediments, we must approach a competent teacher, we must practice a suitable meditation subject, we must avoid unsuitable monasteries, live in the suitable monasteries, and give up minor impediments. All these are prerequisites of meditation. Before we are meditating, we have to settle all these cases. Now, when we are really going to meditate on the spot, before start focus on the object, we have to do some other cases. Okay, this thing will be for the next week. May you all be able to practice the Buddha teaching as instructed by the Buddha, by the power of practicing 3 trainings. May you all be able to realize the final cessation, inner suffering, Nibbana. Sādhu, Sādhu, Sādhu.
Yes,
Okay,
this question is related to the question asked I think 2 weeks ago, regarding the Sādhu explained about the someone who attained Magga Phala. He has the Padaka Jhana and also Samasita Jhana, right?
Okay.
And then the Magga Phala Nama Dhamma will go according to the Samasita Jhana. This is Sādhu's answer, but this questioner, she would like to know more specific, not related to Padaka Jhana, it's related to Samasita Jhana. Someone enter into fourth jhana by vipassana. After enter into fourth jhana, emerging from this fourth jhana, she directly discern the first jhana dhamma that she has done before, discern and contemplate anicca dukkha anatta. So after that, this magga citta arise. So she would like to know this magga citta would the nama dhamma will go according to the fourth jhana. That's the jhana that she used for vipassana, or they will go according to the first jhana that he had practiced before.
So in this case, the fourth jhana is a higher, right? So that's why it can be fourth jhana. The Magga Phala will be according with the fourth jhana. Okay, this is the first thing, right? Okay, then if we compare, okay, I have already said, if we compare Samasita Jhana, Padaka Jhana to, then it will be according to higher jhana. If Samasita Jhana is higher, then the Magga Phala will arise together with higher jhana, Samasita Jhana. If Padaka Jhana is higher, Magga Phala will arise together with Padaka Jhana.
Okay, Sādhu, the second question is according to the attainment of Buddhahood, when the Bodhisattva attained the Buddhahood at the very night, she entered in, according to some teachers saying, Buddhas enter, the Bodhisattva enter into Anapanasati, first, second, third jhana, and with this jhana, the Buddha attained first, second, third, fourth Magga Phala respectively. Okay, this is according to Majjhima Nikaya, one of the sutta in Majjhima Nikaya. But some other teachers say the Buddha, based on this Padaka Jhana, he practiced Paticca Samuppada first method, Samudaya Dhammanubhasi, Vaya Dhammanubhasi, and Samudaya Vaya Dhammanubhasi in order to attain first, second, third, and fourth Buddhahood. So which saying is correct?
Okay, so okay, one more thing, this is the way you read the suttas. You must be very careful. When we read suttas, then it will be according to the condition, the Buddha explains the suttas, right? So when we practice, it must be according to 7 purification. The Buddha must practice 7 purification orderly. That is why maybe both of them are okay, but there are some missing parts. We have to explain that one. Okay, now we are going to talk about 7 purification. I'm going to explain, right? It will take maybe a few months, maybe. Anyway, the main thing is, if we are practicing up to vipassana, in the very beginning, we must have purifications of morality. Bodhisattva said, okay, already is very pure, body actions and bhava actions. Now we also have to practice Citta Visuddhi, the purifications of the mind, and we are going to talk about it. That one is like a jhana, as you say, Anapana, first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana. So based on that, actually the Buddha has had to practice vipassana. So the second step is vipassana, right? Go one more thing. When the Buddha really attained, okay, we have to talk about attainments. If we trace his attainments, the first attainment is Bhuvinivassanosati, the knowledge of recollecting past lives, past existences. So whenever we are going to talk about psychic power, especially Abhignana, then the Buddhas must practice 8 kasinas at least. Based on 8 kasinas, the Buddhas must attain 8 attainments. Practicing 8 attainments and 8 kasina in 14 ways of training mind. In 14 ways, he trains his mind. Then after that, he could attain psychic power. So this is the first watch of the night, the Buddha attained Govindavasanusati. Second watch of the night, Divajaku. Then the last watch of the night, we can say it is a Vipassana. So the Buddhas, the Citta Visuddhi, the purification of mind is not 4 jhana, not 8 attainments, it's psychic power. So we can also understand another way. The Buddha has already attained very strong concentration based on anapanasati's and ideally 8 kasinas up to Anapana up to 4 jhana, Ekasina up to 4 jhana, after the immaterial jhana, after the psychic power. All these are Citta Visuddhi. There are purifications of mind. Based on that, the Buddha practiced Nama meditations or Rupa meditation. Let me take in Nama Rupas or living beings in himself, and also practice internally, externally, 11 ways of descending Nama Rupas. Then practice cause and effect relationship, as you say, dependent origination, the next steps. After that, contemplate Nama Rupas, Anicca Dukkha Anatta, Nama Rupas and their causes as Anicca Dukkha Anatta, like that. Okay? So there are many missing parts in the discourse. That's why both teachers are right, but there are many missing parts. Okay.
Yes, Sādhu, the fourth question is regarding the Patthana lesson that Sādhu have taught. Sādhu have taught about the different type of Kammasati. So in Patthana, is there a Kammasati? Not Kammasati, sorry, Paccaya-sati. Is there a Paccaya-sati that explain the Uddhacca Rupa? For example, the Uddhacca Rupa in the Attamaka, Oja Attamaka Rupa Kalapa, how it produce Uddhacca Rupa externally. What type of Paccaya-sati involved? For example, plants, trees and other plants, they have a Tejo Dhatu as the cause. From Tejo Dhatu, it will produce new generations of Uddhacca Kalapa as the effect. So what type of Paccaya-sati involved in that? Also, like rain can nourish the plants. So what type of Paccaya-sati involved and so on?
Okay, so in this case, we can also say Sajata type. Okay? Sajata types. For example, whenever there's a 4 elements, then there will be Sajata types. Okay? Sajata, Anyamanya, Nisaya, Nati, Avikata, we have this one. These are the first group we have to understand. Then another one is, if we let's say now plants today and tomorrow, yesterday and today, right? We have very long process of growing. Anyway, the main thing is, if we have this kind of process, we can understand Upanisaya, especially Bhagavad-Upanisaya. So natural, right? Bhagavad-Upanisaya. The Bhagavad-Upanisaya Sati can be there. We can understand in these two, we can understand what these 2 different types of conditions.
Let me see, this question regarding for Sotapanna, he may not know past life, but in the process of practicing, then he attained this Sotapaddi Magga. After this person has attained Sotapaddi Magga, then he tried to review his past life. Then his question is that true that a person may not need to understand his past life in order to attain Sotapaddi Magga.
There's not many people say like that. I don't know where they find that kind of thoughts. You know, we have, okay, soon we will have this kind of, that chapter. For example, like a Kanka Vudarana Visuddhi. That means the purifications of overcoming doubt. In this part, in this purification, we have to purify doubt about the past. That means we must know the past. Okay, here, one more thing. I have to talk about a little bit about the doubt about the past. Okay. Whether I have been born in the past, whether I have not been born in the past. No? If I have been born, what kind of past I was. Sorry. So if I have been born in the past, who I was at the time, then what's my body shape? What kind of lifestyle there? That means. Then another thing is, what is it? The second past lives. From which life I have been born in the first past life. We have 5 types of doubt about the past. To overcome doubt about the past, we must know the past. Without knowing the past, if we can say we have already overcome the doubt about the past, this is a little bit complicated thing to say. Right? We can say we cannot believe that kind of things. Then again, we also say like a cause apprehension knowledge. The knowledge of cause apprehension. This is a similar term. Kavana Visuddhi, the purifications of overcoming view, or the overcoming doubts, and the knowledge of cause apprehension are the same. So that means if we talk about cause and effect relationship, for example, okay, now I will talk about modern meditation. Well, when we are eating, right? Eating is rupa. The mind that knows is nama. A very easier way of meditation. So that means the mind is the cause of eating. So that means nama is the cause, rupa is the effect. Then we have to ask, what is the cause of that nama? It will be the problem. So here we have many causes of nama, many causes of rupa. For example, like kamaja rupas are caused by past karma. When we are going to talk about kamaja rupas and their causes, it must be past and present and future. That is why, if we are going to talk about cause apprehension knowledge, or then that means the purifications of overcoming doubts, we have to know the past. If we don't know the past, we don't have powerful insight knowledge. It is impossible to attain Magga-phala.
Sādhu, his question is when Sādhu explained this Uddhacca Rupa, the causal relationship, the Patthana Pachayasati of the Uddhacca Rupa. His question is, Sādhu explained that there might be Upanisaya Pachayasati involved. But according to this questioner, his understanding is Upanisaya Sati only apply to Nama only. But Sādhu explained that it is for Uddhacca Rupa, so he would like to understand more on this.
Okay. So the Upanisaya, we have 3 types of Upanisaya. Aramanupanisaya, that is an object, or object can be any rupa or nama or panyati, anything, right? Aramanupanisaya. And also, we also have like Ananda Rupanisaya. We also have Pagatupanisaya. We have 3 types of Upanisaya. So whenever there is a cause of a relationship, if we cannot find any special conditions, we can go and find in Pagatupanisaya. Pagatupanisaya is very wide. It can be panyati, it can be the cause, or it also can be panyati, it also can be nama, rupa, anything. Okay?
The question is from Sharif Khan, USA. How do we measure if we study too much, Bhante?
Okay. So that means when you are meditating, don't study more than Buddha's teaching. For example, like Buddha may talk about anapanasati. Just study anapanasati. If you want to study what's the next step, you may have more expectation. Your mind become busy and confused, right? Sometimes, okay, another thing, we have different opinion of different teacher. If we just go and read Buddha's teaching, it's okay. Like Pali Canon commentary, okay, no problem. If we just go and study what the teacher say, this teacher say, that teacher say, many different things, you will get confused. Okay? So that means when you study, don't study about teacher, just study from the Buddha. It will be easier. Okay?
Good evening, Bante. This is Baek Hoon. I would like to ask a question regarding the Upapilaka karma, obstacle in life. So I would like to know that how can we assume this is the Upapilaka karma in the life or in the meditation practice? When we see no improvement in life, in the maybe the walking, the life, or the meditation practice, then can we assume that actually we will remain the same level, no improvement in life? Then this is the karma, the Upapilaka karma. If yes, how can we overcome this kind of karma, or we just let it mature and wait for the time, let it pass ago, or how to do it? Thank you, Bante.
Okay. Upapilaka means it just makes the karma weaken, right? Okay, so that means it depends on the, okay, one more thing. When we are really doing some karma, then there will be, for example, when we are doing kusala, for example, right? In the kusala, there will be also akusala karma there. Accompanied by akusala karma. Or maybe another akusala karma also can be. So it will, when it's the frustrated karma, we can say upapilaka karma, it make kusala karma weaker. Okay. Upapilaka, okay. Upapilaka means, although there's a kusala karma, then it will make the kusala karma weaker. Another akusala karma will make kusala karma weaker. Or the kusala karma will make akusala karma weaker. Both can be considered as upapilaka karma, right? If there's a karma, we cannot avoid. We cannot say it is like weaker or strong or anything. But one more thing here we have to know. That one is Payoga Sampati. Payoga Sampati means we must have right actions all the time. If we have right actions, then we have Payoga Sampati. That's why akusala karma will become weaker. Kusala karma will become stronger. As you say, like yes or no, I cannot say exactly, right? But the main thing is to overcome that kind of problem. Okay, so okay, I have another example. The Buddha. The Buddha has very strong wholesome karma in his past lives, no doubt. But there are also some unwholesome karma. For example, he has back pain because of past karma. If ordinary people, have this kind of suffering, they may not be able to walk. They may not be able to sit because it's very much painful. But the Buddha has Payoga Sampati. Payoga Sampati means, Buddha has attained many different attainments, many different jhanas, or many different types of achievements. That's why he can enter into many different attainments. He can overcome that pain. So past karma make his body not to walk, but his present karma, present actions make his body stronger and can use his life. Similarly, Venerable Mamogalana, you have already known he was smashed by 500 people, right? Beaten by 500 people. Then all his bones are broken, smashed totally. Then because of his present karma, that means his very strong psychic power, he can create his body, he can sustain his body by his psychic power. He could approach the Buddha, and also he asked permission to enter Nibbana like this. So that means if we have very strong present karma, we can make all the past karma weaker. Whether it can be Janaka, Upabilaka, Upakataka, or anything. Okay?
Say this question in the chat room. It says, just like Sādhu says that for Sotapanna, in order to, a Sotapanna must know past life before he can attain this Sotapatti Magga. So how about Sukha Vipassana Yanika? Do they need to understand past life in order to attain Magga?
Actually, no, when we are going to talk about Magga Phala, we must practice according to the 7 purifications. That's why whether it's Sutta Vipassana Yanika or Samatha Yanika, they must have the same quality, the same knowledge. That's why whenever we are going to talk about cause apprehended knowledge, we must have that kind of knowledge. We must know the past.
The next question from Cheng. Dear Sādhu, may I ask regarding Upanisaya, please? Sādhu explained that this is very wide, with everything possible as the Pachaya. May I know what will be the possible Pachayupanna, please? Thank you.
Okay, or Pachaya and Pachayupanna. Okay. So in the Patana, whenever we talk about Bhagavadupanisaya, or Bhagavadupanisaya, here we can say Bhagavadupanisaya, because it can be, Pachayupanna can be 89 Chitta and 12 Chittasikas. These are Pachayupanna. Pachaya can be anything. Okay? So, this is for about Bhagavadupanisaya. For about Anandarupanisaya, okay, this preceding one is succeeding one. Aramanupanisaya. Aramanupanisaya also mostly Pachayupanna will be Chitta, Chittasika, because this is Aramana. Okay? So, okay, the main thing is Pachaya can be Panyati or Nama Rupa or anything, but Pachayupanna must be Nama, only Nama. Okay?
Sadhu, 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 Bhante. Thank you very much for your teachings today. And thank you, our interpreter, Bhante, for the translation. May we invite Bhante to lead us in making aspirations and sharing of merits.
Okay. Eda wada janamehi sambadam punya sambadam sabbe deva numodandu sabbe buddha numodandu sabbe saddha numodandu sabba sampati siddhya idam me nyadinam hodu sukhita hondu nyadeyo idam me nyadinam hodu sukhita hondu nyadeyo idam me nyadinam hodu sukhita hondu nyadeyo idam me punyam asavakaya waham hodu idam me punyam nibbanasa bhajayo hodu mama punya bhagam savasadanam bhajemi te sabbe me samam punya bhagam lavandu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you, Bhante, and everyone for your time and participation. Till we meet on next Saturday, may all be well and happy. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.